Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Alpharetta, Georgia, here on the campus of Kings Ridge Christian, as we have a beautiful high school football showdown here tonight between the Tigers and the Pinecrest Academy Paladins. Hello, everybody. My name is Matt Mahoney, alongside my broadcast partner, Hassan Khan. Hassan, we've got Region 6A Georgia High School State football lined up for everybody here on SUV TV here tonight.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be broadcasting this game alongside you, Matt Mahoney, one of the greats here in Georgia.
Here we go.
So I'm excited for some Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, this game has very much some intrigue, especially in that Region 6A contest here. The Paladins roll into the contest 0-5 on the season, but for the first time this year, the Paladins are going to face an opponent that's 0-3, same record as them in region play.
Absolutely. It's both teams are fighting for, Coach Terrence Mathis said early on when we were interviewing him on Wednesday that he's all about discipline. He's all about teaching this team, having this team grow and develop. So let's see if that's going to develop into a good outing for Pinecrest here.
Pinecrest continues to trend in the right direction. We said it a couple weeks ago, if it was the stock market, I would buy Pinecrest stock because it is cheap, it is low, and it is trending in the right direction. The payoff could be huge, instrumental down the season as this team continues to improve. We'll find out if they can take those improvements, cash them into points, and more importantly, those points into their first win of the season. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with a coach's spotlight as well as keys to the game. You're watching Pinecrest Academy football, powered by SUV TV.
Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by O'Rourke Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, Hain Sports Medicine, SJ Oral and Facial Surgery, Rehabilitation Center, Billy House, Alessio Restaurant and Pizzeria.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Van Sant Stadium on the campus of Kings Ridge Christian. As this Tiger program, it's a sea of purple here tonight. A little bit of pink sprinkled in too as well. We'll get to more on that in a moment. But Hassan, just a beautiful setting here. Sun has already started to set behind the trees here. And just a beautiful campus that continues to thrive. Most people say small 1A high school football, but man, this sure doesn't look like it here in front of us. This is beautiful.
No, absolutely. Right before the broadcast, we were actually talking about how beautiful the facilities are. This is something special. I'm excited to be here. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to Friday Night Lights.
Let's take a look at the close-ups presented by Hain Sports Medicine on the coaching side for Pinecrest. Head coach Terrence Mathis in his first year of the program. And if that name rings a bell, it should, especially for Falcon fans here in Atlanta. Terrence was the recipient of 573 catches in his career with the Atlanta Falcons, over 7,000 yards receiving and 57 touchdowns. He has made his way through the coaching ranks here, back home, so to speak, lives in Suwanee, and wonderful opportunity the Pinecrest Academy that has given to Terrence Mathis to be the head coach here. He's also a Hall of Fame member of his alma mater at the University of New Mexico and a member of that Ring of Honor. On the opposite side of the field for Kings Ridge, they're head coached by Jimmy Chupp in his 27th year at the helm for the Tigers. He joined this KRCS football program in March of 26, so he's been here in Kings Ridge for a couple of seasons, but a long line of high school coaching pedigree here, as he has a career record of 89 wins and 24 losses, including 9 state playoff appearances and a state championship appearance in his previous stop at Greater Atlanta Christian. Hassan, captain's going through the pregame ritual here, coin flip. They'll figure out who's going to play offense, who's going to play defense first. However, Hassan, before we get going, give me the keys to the game presented by Billy Howell Ford Dealership.
Well, Matt, the keys to the game for Pinecrest here, you got to start fast, you got to start strong. Everybody wants to come out with a lead on top, whether it be in the first quarter. You want to get a lead early on so that you can be off guard. Also, limit the big play on defense. When we talked to Coach Terrence Mathis in an interview early on in the week, he was talking about how we need to limit the big play on defense, how that is a vital point for Pinecrest here, and turn persistence into more precision. Like we mentioned earlier before the break, head coach Terrence Mathis was more about having this team grow, having this team learn, and teaching that discipline. Well, we've been seeing it more and more, a lot less turnovers, a lot less penalties. Can they keep on turning that growing curve, that learning curve, into more precision?
Paladins have won the toss and have elected to receive. Hassan, your keys to the game coming true already here. Terrence Mathis in that conversation said he wants to start fast. What better way to start fast than put his best unit out there on the field to go down and score some points. So both these teams going through some last-minute preparations. Kings Ridge, I believe, is stuck in the smoking tunnel.
Well, they're hyping up their entrance.
There they go. Well, it looks like they got a barbecue going on in there. It smells good.
Oh, I'm hungry.
In the meantime, the Palatins will come out of the end zone on the right side of the field. Palatins wearing the road white uniforms, green letters and numbers with a gold helmet. Going to man the sideline on the far side. Kings Ridge, purple tops, gray pants, white helmets. They're going to be in front of their home crowd here. And a lot of pink mixed in with this home crowd. Month of October is obviously breast cancer awareness. And I think that's interesting now that now in America, in culture, with sports, we all know that it's no longer breast cancer awareness is October. Everybody is aware of it. So I like the fact that it's obvious to everyone what that pink color means, to not just the folks here at Kings Ridge, but around America and in football stadiums everywhere. Pretty impressive.
For sure.
So again, Kings Ridge going through a last-second prayer. Meanwhile, the Palatins on the far side putting together their kick return team. Turnovers and mistakes were hard to find last week on the tape versus Mount Perrin. However, for the Palatins, points were hard to find too as well. It'll be a triple option attack they're going to have to stop defensively, but for the start of things, it'll be Pinecrest on offense. As we're moments away here from kickoff, glad to have everybody aboard. I'm Matt Mahoney alongside my broadcast partner Hassan Khan. Glad to have you aboard here on SUV TV on a Friday night in Alpharetta, Georgia. Put 12 minutes on the clock, 4 quarters of football. Team with the most points wins. At least that's what I've been told.
I think that's how it goes.
Yeah. Get a couple of timeouts and a half. 10 yards is a first down. It's amazing how this game works.
Oh, we know the basics. Qualified to do this job right here.
Well, Hassan, you're in charge tonight of taking us to a basic rules to the expert level here. Can you handle that?
Oh, let's hope so.
Pinecrest 0-5 on the season, 0-3 in region play. Kings Ridge lone win came second game of the season. They're 1-4 and 0-3 in region play. All right, here we go. Kings Ridge is ready to go. The officials checked with his partners. Blow the whistle. As we are Friday night under the lights here on SUV TV. Pinecrest will receive the punt about the 8-yard line. Cut at the 20, stutter step, breaks the tackle, sheds another one, hits a block across the 30, rolling forward out to the 38-yard line. And a good start for the Palatins. And the return man is going to be number 10, and Hogan Palmer. They'll do it all running back in DB. Picks up a great kickoff return to start things for Pinecrest.
Like we said, keys to the game, start strong.
So we'll see this Pinecrest offense that averages just 9.4 points per contest, but we expect the over in this game here tonight. Shotgun set for the quarterback and number 12, Mickey Magnum. In the senior season, 2 receivers deep, side motion across the face of the formation with Sullivan. He'll hand it off, bounce it up the middle here. Gain of next to none for Michael Barosis.
It just seems early on that first play of the game should be a run play, to start things slow. For that, seems like the defense expected that on that play.
You'll see a lot of shotgun spread for Magnum and Pinecrest. Kings Ridge runs your standard 4-3 defense, 4 DBs in the secondary. Shotgun for the Palatins, trips to the left side, and the single receiver is Colby Magnum. Mickey gets the snap, swings it out far side, stalk screen right through the hands of the intended target. I believe that was Barosis.
The defense read that as well. Looked like they were in man coverage on that play. Only 6 people in the box on that. Expected the pass on that, and they were right on that.
Stand corrected there. Peter Hoover with a wide receiver on the line of scrimmage that had that ball whip right through his fingers. We saw last week Mickey Magnum struggle with some accuracy and some consistency. That one right on the money there, so hopefully he can get dialed in with a completion. It's going to bring up 3rd and a long 10. First down marker sits in Palatine territory at the 48. Same formation, stretch to the left side, one to the near. Magnum gets a snap, pressured, rolls to his left, picks his head up, throws downfield, and it's in and out of an intended target, and that could have been picked off by Kings Ridge secondary. And Thomas Smith came from a strong safety position, cut right in front of that route. Interrupted the pass, and so the Paladins will be forced to punt on their first series.
Like you mentioned, he came from the strong safety position. Only had one safety down deep, but that was enough to capitalize and cause an incomplete pass towards the left side of the field.
Matthew Stone will be the punter for the Paladins. He'll rest his heels on the 25-yard line. Back deep to receive for Kings Ridge will be number 6, and Hayden Milling. He's got some athletic ability. He stands on his own 25. Only 10 Paladins on the field. They get an 11th one now, and a late substitution with Ethan Massey. He sets up, and now the Paladins are ready to go. Good snap, rugby style, be a left-footed strike that will head over toward Milling. Milling will catch it at the 30, cross the 35 and the 40. Picks up a block at the 45, across midfield into Paladin territory, and is wrestled down at the 46-yard line. So much better punt. It continues to improve for Stone, but a great return for the Tigers, and they'll have excellent field position working downhill, going right to left across your screen in this first quarter. 10:55 remaining in this first opening frame.
You mentioned Millen's athletic ability. When the punt wasn't coming towards him, ran towards the punt and was able to capitalize with the momentum and run down the field and get into Pinecrest territory.
They'll spot the ball at the Pinecrest 46-yard line. I say the starting quarterback because they'll run more than one out there for the Tigers. Number 15 and Braxton Chadwick, sophomore, 5'11", 175 pounds. Trips to the left side, toss sweep to the aforementioned Milling. He's got the block across the 45, cuts up at the 40. It's a strong gain of 10 on first down on a simple pitch play. We should expect to see the Tigers along a rod, a triple option tonight, Hassan.
Kings Ridge, gotta love players like that can do everything. Play on special teams, play on offense. Like I said, athletic ability, we're gonna see a lot of that today.
A lot of multiple backs that'll rotate in and out of this game for the Purple Tigers. It is a first down and a pickup of 10. Ball set to the 36-yard line. Same formation, just inverted. Trips to the right side, one back set. They toss it again to Milling. Milling roll to his his right. Cuts up the field at the 30. He'll have another 10-plus yard gain down to the 22-yard line. And another first down, 2 first downs and 2 carries for the senior running back.
At this time in the game, when 10 minutes left in the first quarter, you can't let this get to Pinecrest's head. Yes, you gave up a big punt return, you gave up 2 first downs, but there's still a lot of football left to play in this game.
Kings Ridge's offense averaging 18.8 points per game. Same formation again. They've stuck with it. Trips to the left side, wing back that way as well. Offset with Milling. Milling gets another top sweep, cuts up right at the tackle, and he will be tackled by number 25 and Brooks Binkley, the go-to man at middle linebacker for the Paladins. It is no gain on the play.
Just read that play perfectly. They knew that it was coming. They knew that Milling is Kings Ridge. Number 1 guy, it seems like right there. They read it perfectly and was able to stop him for little to no gain.
Okay, we've already seen Braxton Chadwick in at quarterback, and we're going to get a first look at the other quarterback, and Casey Flanagan. He wears number 8, and he will actually split out to the right side at wide receiver. So Chadwick will remain at quarterback. And again, Milling in that offset one back set. A late flag comes flying in here, and I believe this is going to be a legal substitution. There's a quick clock there. Delay a game. What was the call from the Zebra? So that'll back them up 5, and anytime you get a triple option team behind the chain, it's going to be good news for your defense.
Oh, absolutely. With the triple option, you're more so reliant on the run. But it's hard to get a first down when you run the ball 3 times in a row. We'll see what they do right here.
2nd and 15. First down marker sits at the 12 in the red zone. Again, Chadwick goes to the right. Pitch play. They're looking to throw it. Is going to be Milling. Still going that way. Runs out of real estate, and the Paladin pursue will wrestle him down. Back at the 32. It's going to be a loss of 7. And right now, the Tigers are being caught by their tail.
And like we mentioned, that has to help the confidence of Pinecrest. You see the penalty, push them back 5 yards. You know that their offense is a triple option offense. That helps them out a lot, and to get a play like that, that is huge on this drive.
Good recognition by the secondary to see the toss pass play coming, a halfback pass staying home in that secondary for Pinecrest. Again, it's going to be 3rd and a long 20. traditional set here with that wing T formation. Quarterback under center, again, is Chadwick. He'll hand it off to the fullback. Stumbling forward is going to be Thomas Smith, but a late flag on the play, too, as well. This is normally in the area of illegal procedure.
Looks to be a legal shift on the offense right there.
So what was 3rd and 20 now becomes 3rd and 25 for a triple option offense. I don't know how many plays they have for 3rd and 20. I can imagine they have even less for 3rd and 25.
Oh, of course. If you're Pinecrest, you got to be thinking, well, the audience at home, you got to be thinking, why not just decline that and make it 4th down? Well, you want to push them outside of field goal range and get them back as many yards as possible.
So again, that first down marker sits all the way at the, we'll call it 13-yard line in Palatine territory. It is 3rd and 25. Wishbone set for the Tigers. Yo-yo the motion, rolling to his left is the quarterback. They pitch it back to number 11 there, and that's Kevin Howard. Makes a nice play just to keep it without fumbling, but the Pinecrest defense sniffs it out. It's going to be no gain on a busted play. And now decision time for the Tigers. Hassan, this is not 4-down territory on 3rd and 25.
Absolutely not.
Or what's now going to be 4th and 25. And again, that's Casey Flanagan, who's not necessarily more or better than Chadwick at quarterback, more athletic or a better quarterback. They just like to rotate him in there. That was a tough pitch by Casey Flanagan just to connect with Howard. So now it'll be the quarterback slash punter and Casey Flanagan who goes back into Palatine territory. Good snap, rolls to his right. He'll pooch it and angle it toward the sideline. It'll hit at the 12, take a Tiger bounce, and now the roll all the way inside the 1. Has perfect placement for the Tigers punt team. Casey Flanagan. Looks like Hassan earlier today. It's that 8-iron out there, and it just rolls right inches to the cup.
Absolutely. Took a Tiger bounce, like you said. And we mentioned before, it's a mentality. You got to stay strong. You got to get that early lead. You cannot let your confidence lower in this situation.
99 yards from the end zone. Scoreless contest. 7:05 to play in the first quarter. The Palatines will take over for the second offensive possession. No quarterback swap here. It's going to be the man in Mickey Magnum. He'll go under center with an I formation. I haven't seen too many of this year for the Palatines. Goes with a hard count. Jumps back out of the way, and now we're going to get another flag and maybe delay a game. Flag came out by the near pylon by the side judge. Called false start. Well, the good news is that penalty is only going to back you up about 8 inches.
Won't make that much of a difference right there.
We'll round up and say it's still 1st and 10. Magnum under center again. He stands in the end zone now. Hands it off to the fullback, cutting right up the middle and running over a Tiger. Getting out to the 10-yard line. I believe that's going to be Baroses on a stiff carry there. Indeed it is.
In those kind of situations where you're inside the 5-yard line, you have to expect the offense to run the ball. What Kings Ridge did right there, had 3 linemen lined up and then 3 linebackers. More so you have to stack the box in those kind of situations.
Stand corrected there. Brooks Binkley doesn't get too many carries. Let's make sure we identify him correctly when he does. More I formation here as this one's off to the left tackle position, and it will be the more traditional running back, and Michael Baroses that gets the carry and moves the chains. And so now the Palatines get out from inside their own end zone and have some room to exhale.
Coach Mathis has to be thinking, can he implement his run game into the rest of the game as well, not just rely on the quarterback?
Yeah, we haven't seen too much of this I formation this year, Hassan, so it's interesting now how much do you play with the I and get away from the shotgun. Magnum again, the shotgun set, pitches it again to Baroses. He'll cut off to the left side. Positive yardage out to the 15, but give him 2 at the most.
Like you mentioned, we haven't seen the I formation a lot this whole entire year, but if you run this early, you can set up some nice, deep play-action passes.
You do have a point with that 3-down lineman system for Kings Ridge. 3 linemen, 4 linebackers. They'll rotate that outside linebacker to the line of scrimmage. We've seen this. They call it the Hawk. They call it the Striker. They call it, it's basically a pass rusher that's super athletic on the line of scrimmage. So it'll be interesting to see if they switch to a 4-down line system. Heat comes from the outside. Magnum fakes the pitch, rolls was right. Plenty of time here, looking downfield, still looking, fakes the throw, and then is wrestled down at about the 15. It's a loss of 1. Great play call and design. Just no one home on this near side in the Pinecrest wide receiving core.
And for Pinecrest, that was a good play call by Mathis right there. It seemed to get the defense off guard for a minute, but you just have to turn that persistence into precision right there.
Tip your hat to Robbie DeFelice. The cornerback on the near side was lined up on Colby Magnum and really stuck to his man as Magnum was trying to run that dig route to come back to his brother, but covered up by DeFelice. 3rd and 9 now. First down marker sits at the 23. Now another late flag and a delay of game. We need to check that clock. That delay of game clock, 30-second clock, I believe, in high school football. That thing is moving quick.
Seems like it.
I'll keep an eye on that. And again, they spot the ball, and the head official in the solid white hat is the one that starts that play clock. I wonder if he's starting it quicker than what these players are used to. Pinecrest, late substitution here. Shotgun set, 3 receivers to the left. Now making shotgun 5 wide, no back set. Magnum gets the snap, looks to his right, now cuts back to his left. Throws a ball deep down the field, and it's going to be broken up, and some early contact, and a late flag that comes in. Pass intended for Patrick Sullivan, but early to the party is Evan Dyer. Got the invitation, but just showed up before the party started.
Oh, sure. We'll see what happens right there. But as far as the play call on that, you don't have any backs in the backfield. In that kind of situation, you expect the quarterback to be a sitting duck where the lineman can just blitz him. And you mentioned the athletic linebacker that can rush and be the pass rusher. They can rush him as well. But it seemed like the offensive line did a good job of blocking on that play.
So on 3rd and 12, contact with the DB. The Zebras are mingling here right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to talk about whether this pass was catchable or not. And if it is indeed catchable, it should be pass interference. 15 yards and an automatic first down. If they deem it uncatchable, it'll be 4th down for the Palatins. Zebras break the huddle. Let's see what the call is here. How about before the snap? All right, so here's what we got. Illegal formation against the Palatins, and then pass interference versus the Tigers, which you replay 3rd down on offsetting penalties. So again, there was a flag laying here by our good friend next to the pylon on the near side of the field, the line judge. Dropped one right at his feet, never saw that one as the play started. So let's try this again. We'll get a do-over on 3rd and 12 for the Palatins. 2 receivers each side. Barosas in the gun with Magnum. Gets a snap, looks to his right, cuts back over the middle of the field, throws the ball in the middle of the field. He's got a receiver wide open. It's caught Michael Barosas from the backfield across the 40, the 30. See you later, Barosas. Touchdown, Palatins.
Amazing read by the quarterback right there. We saw that the safeties were playing underneath, expecting a shorter pass possibly, but that set up the Paladin touchdown.
We do have a flag on the play that sits on the Paladin sideline at the 40-yard line. A referee is going to say it's a sideline warning violation going against, we'll say, Terrence Mathis, because I got a feeling he was a little excited on that play, running down the field with Barosas because he knew how open he was. We actually got that story from Coach Mathis last week. Touchdown will count. 6 points go up on the board, and it's going to be a new kicker for the Palatins. Going to attempt this shot, number 23, and Connor Sisson.
And how could you not be excited, Matt? A team that's averaging 9 points a game to score potentially 7 early on with 4 minutes left in the first quarter. This is huge.
So we may not have started fast, but we started first. I think that's important.
Absolutely.
Snap is a little high. Hold is down. Kick is up, and it is good. Put the PAT on the board. 7-0 it reads. Palatins on top of the Tigers on the road in Alpharetta in this Region 6A matchup of 2 winless teams in the region. Pinecrest gets an early lead, 7-0. Hassan, a little preempted strike there. We said the Palatins were 99 yards from the end zone, and sure enough, they did cover all 99 yards on that scoring drive.
It showed that they're capable. Really proved to the audience at home, proved to everyone that's here tonight. But more so proving themselves that they are capable of doing this against the King Ridge defense.
I know they like to have fun. We know they're getting better, but you have to imagine, Hassan, that felt really, really good. I don't know how much they have had this feeling so far this season that finally their labor is coming to show on the scoreboard, which is why we're all here, is that hunk of metal beyond the end zone that keeps the score. And so a big, big uplifting moment early for Pinecrest in this first quarter. 4:34 remaining in the frame. And again, that scoreboard's correct, folks. 7-0 in favor of the Palatins. First lead of the year. Sisson again will use his right foot. Strikes it high, end over end kick, drifting to the end zone, putting two paws on it, but his tail clearly in the end zone. It'll be a touchback for Kings Ridge. So, story is starting to develop here. Pinecrest, 99-yard touchdown drive. Puts his offense up 7-0, and I don't know how much we can compare the offense helping the defense. If you look out there, this is about the same names and numbers that are out there on offense and defense. And so now can you help your own cause with the defensive unit out there? And now it's Pine Ridge with 80 yards to travel here to get the pay dirt. Can the Palatins stand up and stop that triple option? Quarterback will be Flanagan. He'll hand it off to the fullback, and he has hit hard right in the teeth of that defense, and you know who that is. That is Nolan Stafford, the middle linebacker. Hits him hard, wraps him up, takes him down for minimal gain.
They've prepared all week for this triple option offense. They know that regardless if they run to the left, to the right, they're going to run the ball. Hence why they had 5 linemen down on the line.
I know you hear this all the time, Hassan, and I know that's what you're keying on tonight, but it's about disciplined football. You're the middle linebacker, I'm keying that fullback. He goes right, I got to go right. He goes left, I got to go left. He goes to the bathroom, I got to follow him too. And so it's so important to not only read your keys and stay disciplined in the first quarter, but in the fourth quarter as well when you're tired and been out there for 2.5, 3 hours. Early on, Pinecrest in advantage. 2nd and 9 coming up. Flanagan in the under center. Fumbles the ball in the exchange, but he recovers back at the 20. It'll be a loss of 1. All right, now the Tigers sputtering on offense. They can't find any of the cylinders on this triple option.
Even the safeties and corners are playing tight. Safeties are coming underneath. They expect the run for sure.
A lot of times it's interesting when you defensively, when you face a triple option, if you see the option coming at the snap, that outside cornerback will be responsible for the pitch man. Just leave that wide receiver go and a safety will pick it up. So it's interesting to see that adjustment defensively. Flanagan in under center again. Fakes the pitch, drops back to pass. Got a man over the middle of the field. It is bobbled and dropped by Kevin Howard, who had some real estate and would have had the first down if he hauls that ball in, but instead it'll bring up 4th down for the Tigers, and they'll bring the punt unit on.
A lot of pressure for the defense on that play. In that kind of predicament, you did expect a pass, but the quarterback was pressured into throwing it early, and the receiver probably did turn his head enough time to look at the ball, but probably wasn't fast enough.
Flanagan, quarterback turned punter, drops back to his own 5-yard line, rolls to his right, rugby style, low line drive, heading in the direction of Barosis. He'll let that ball roll into Palatine territory, and it's picked up at about the 36-yard line. So the Pinecrest defense stands on its head after the offense gets a touchdown up on the board. And so, again, for the first time this year, the Palatins not only up 7-0, but they have the football with the lead. 3:12 remaining in this opening frame. 7-0. Palatins lead. Offense going back to work here. Capitalized on a 80-plus yard touchdown pass from Magnum to Barosis. Trips, bunch to the right side, solo to the left. You know who that is, Colby Magnum. Binkley in a shotgun set with Magnum. He will get the carry off to the left side. Got a lot of room to run across the 40, rumbling forward to the 45, pushes the first down marker over to the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 12 from the shotgun set. That is Brooks Binkley getting some carries into the heavy load in this first half.
Initially, Pinecrest in that formation didn't have a lot of blockers or receivers lined up on the right side of the field. They are running towards the blockers. They're expecting to run it through, saying, hey, we're going to run the ball. We're going to pound it through you. We're going to get the first down.
1st and 10 for the Palatins. Trip to the right, 1 to the left. It's Magnum. Binkley shifts from the left to the right of the quarterback, Mickey Magnum. Again, a little collision between Magnum and Binkley. He'll get the carry again, almost the identical play off tackle. Solid pickup of 5 yards and a healthy gain on first down.
Matt, how huge would this be if this is turned into a 2-possession game early on?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting, we've said Brooks Binkley's number much more on defense at linebacker this year than at running back. And so for him to get some carries early, it's huge for this offense and moving downfield. Split the sticks, 2nd and 5. Same formation. Magnum will give it again to Binkley, and Binkley's got the first down and more across the 40. Flag out of the pocket at 30, 25, 20. Breaks the tackle inside the red zone, runs a man over down to the 10-yard line, and I get a feeling inside it's all coming back.
We'll wait on the call from the official, but
it was the head man in a white cap that tossed the hanky out at about the 44-yard line, and here's the call. Indeed it is holding, and all that hard work by Binkley. 3 consecutive carries, 2 first downs in what would have been 1st and goal will be brought all the way back to Powelton territory. As the referee walking this one off, should spot at about the 46 and Pinecrest territory, and indeed that's where the pigskin is plopped. And we'll have 2nd and 12. Inside 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Do you stick to the ground or go to the air here, Hassan?
I have a feeling they're going to go in the air in this one.
Magnum gets the snap, looks to his right. Screen play out to the receiver who's hit hard, and David Stubbs taken down and a loss of 5 on the play. We've seen the screen work for this Terrence Mathis offense in a variety of ways, but right there, the Tiger defense sniffed that one out.
Right there, they sniffed it out, and early on in the beginning of the game, they sniffed it out as well. Didn't plan out for them. Wasn't successful, but I think Mathis has a good indication of maybe possibly to stay away from the screen in certain situations right there.
Mickey Magnum hasn't played quarterback since about the 6th grade, so this is his senior season, but most definitely he's not a veteran. He's got to learn here to manage the game on 3rd and 16. You've got a 7-point lead. You don't need all 16. Just use the field position. Magnum looks to his left, throws it over the middle of the field. Got a receiver. It's caught by Colby Magnum on the dig route. He's short of the first down, tucks upfield to the 40, and he'll pick it up on a catch and run.
Amazing catch and run right there. You saw the safeties when they got burned on that play earlier for the touchdown by Pinecrest. They played underneath, but now they played knowing that it was 3rd and long. They were up top, but that was enough for Magnum to catch the ball in the middle of the field and get the first down.
Magnum connection does indeed connect for a first down. Nice job by Mickey. Take what the defense gives you. Colby catches, uses athletic ability, move the chains, and the possession stays alive. 36 seconds remaining in the corner. Got one more chance for the last play of the opening frame. Magnum hands off to Brinkley. Lot of space right at the middle of the field. Excuse me, that's going to be Barosas. He's got a first down and more across the 30, 25-20, and he's wrestled out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. That play is clean there. Clock will stop at 23 seconds, and Pinecrest wants to hurry. They feel the momentum, and can they get this Tiger defense to roll inside their own end zone? This is Barosas, shotgun set to the left of Magnum. 2 receivers split to each side. Clock won't start until they spot the ball and move the chains. Ball is spotted. Chains are now placed right at the 12. Quick snap to Magnum. He'll give it off to Barosas. Barosas off to the right side. Runs hard into a guy at the 8-yard line. Tackled inbounds. Clock will run on just a gain of 2. And the Poweltons may sit this one out till the quarter. Well, 5 seconds remaining. Mickey sits all the way next to Terrence Mathis. However, Mickey calling for the boys to come over. And there's high fives all around for Pinecrest Academy. 7-0 your score at the end of the first quarter here. It was a 99-yard touchdown drive on the second series of the game for Pinecrest, capped off by a huge 82-yard touchdown pass from Mickey Magnum to Michael Barosas. Barosas takes that carry all the way inside the 10. And with that, we'll take a quick break here in between quarters. We'll have second quarter action with a Powelton lead, 7-0 on the other side. You are watching Pinecrest Academy football powered by SUV TV.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford with 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford certified pre-owned. A car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax. It's covered.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by O'Rourke Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, Haynes Sports Medicine, S.J. Palzo, Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, Atlanta Rehabilitation Center, Billy Howe Ford, and Alessio's Restaurant and Pizzeria.
Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12 college preparatory Catholic school. We provide an atmosphere of academic rigor and critical thinking while offering personalized attention in a Christ-centered environment of faith and reason. Call us today to schedule a visit to Pinecrest or visit the website at pinecrestacademy.org to learn more about the award-winning school. Matt Mahoney alongside Hassan Khan. First quarter is in the books. Finds the Paladins on top 7-0, and Pinecrest threatening again. In the red zone, they find themselves with 2nd and 6, able to get a first down without getting into the end zone. This should be key here. Shotgun bunched to the right side with 3 receivers. Magnum in the shotgun set. Pitch it out to Brinkley. Brinkley wants to throw it, runs out of real estate, now runs literally cutting back toward the original line of scrimmage at about the 10 as Terrence Mathis dials one up out of the extended quarter break.
Good sense of awareness by Brinkley, knowing that, hey, you could go for the little pass right there because you're behind the line of scrimmage. It's a pitch to you, but good to read the defense and just pick up as many yards as he could on that play.
So it'll be a loss of 1 and now bring up 3rd and 9. First down marker sits at the 3. Magnum in a shotgun set. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right is Colby. Magnum gets the snap, looks to his left. Throws the short route there, caught by Sullivan, and he'll be tackled immediately right at the 10 for no gain on the play. This will bring up 4th and a long 8. They give him positive yardage out to exactly the 10, and it looks like the field goal unit is coming on, and we're going to christen in the new kicker in Connor Sisson.
On that play, Sullivan running out to the left side, getting as many yards as possible. Potentially, maybe just setting it up on the left hash mark because the kicker's more comfortable with that.
So, trying to get the right personnel into the game. Pinecrest has it. This will be a 27-yard field goal attempt. The high snap again. Kick is up, and it is no good. Missed it just left. Snap was a little high. Magnum did a good job of getting it on the block. Pressure came off that left side, but hooking it just a hair is Connor Sisson. And so a long drive, ate up a bunch of the clock, but no points out of it, and Kings Ridge is right back in this contest.
Matt, I would still have to say you can't look at that as a defeat if you're Pinecrest, because you've proven on 2 separate drives that you can get the ball down the field, you can get it past this defense, and you can get in scoring position.
So now Kings Ridge will work left to right across your screen here. They're going toward the scoreboard on the end zone that says Tigers in purple. 1st and 10 from the 20 after the missed field goal for Pinecrest. Quarterback back to the starter in Braxton Chadwick. Gets a snap, keeps it himself off to the right side here, and he'll be tackled immediately. Nice job at the defensive end for the Paladins there, and that's Joey Kiernan. Assignment football at its best there, Hassan.
Absolutely. Kings Ridge staying with their game plan, staying with the triple option, not making many adjustments, it seems like, early on in the second quarter. We'll see if that changes up.
They basically kept it with the fullback and the quarterback. We've only seen one pitch, and that was on 3rd and 25, and it was a wiry play at best. Chadwick again under center, gets the snap, hands it off to the fullback, and he is swallowed up again by that interior defensive line for the Paladins. I see John Stone Brown getting up from the pile. I see Sawyer Huffstetler getting up too as well. So assignment football at its best right now for Pinecrest.
It's the story of the game for Kings Ridge. First down, run the ball. Second down, triple option again, run the ball. Third down, seems like a 3rd and 8 in this situation, in this predicament. Going to be passing the ball here.
Wing T formation, 2 receivers go to the far side. They fake it to the fullback, now pitch it to the far side. It'll be handled by DeFelice, but he is handled by that Pinecrest defense for a loss of 3 on the play.
Looked like it was forward progress in that, but still a loss on the play for Kings Ridge.
So not 1, but 2 3-and-out punts for this Kings Ridge offense after being down 7-0. So we've seen Pinecrest move the football and score. We've seen him move the football and miss a field goal. But since that touchdown, Kings Ridge has gone 3-and-out on both series.
Flanagan's punts so far are taking favorable bounces.
And he'll take another one here. It hops at his own 40, but checks up right at the 50. And that ball rolls around right on top of the KR at midfield. And so the Paladins will take over in Kings Ridge territory with 8:39 remaining in the second quarter.
Matt, great starting field position for Pinecrest right here. They proved it early on, like I said, in 2 separate drives that they can get the ball downfield past this defense. Can they do it here?
They had some success with that I formation on the touchdown drive. I know the pass play for 80 yards is what's going to steal the headlines, but they haven't gone back to it. We see shotgun here. 4 receivers to the far side. 1 to the near by himself is Barosis. Magnum wants to throw the stalk screen out that way. Colby makes the catch across the 45 to 40, makes a man miss, and he'll be out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Solid gain of 14 yards on a wide receiver screen. Magnum to Magnum.
The reason why that play was so successful is because in the shotgun, we saw that the defense, Kings Ridge, was playing the pass, only rushing 3 defenders in that predicament. Like we mentioned earlier, Terrence Mathis likes to run the screenplay, and it was enough for a first down.
So again, Mickey goes back to the shotgun set. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right is Colby. Mangan barks out the cadence. Some serious pressure here. They get it up the middle, and Barosis will rumble forward for positive yardage and a gain of 2. That time we saw heat from every gap for Kings Ridge. They literally stuck a man in each gap with Pinecrest spreading things out.
And Matt, in that kind of situation, you can rely on Barosis because he's averaging a lot of yards per carry, whether it's a reception, whether it be a handoff on the ground. Barosis is the guy, the hot guy.
He's got the hot hand for sure. Shotgun set, 3 receivers to the near side. Barosis in the backfield again. Mickey gets the snap, looks to his right, got his brother Colby. Man-to-man coverage, bang-bang play, and a great 50-50 ball. Coverage on the play for the Tigers. A nice job going airborne. There's number 23 and Robbie DeFelice working on Colby Magnum.
The run early on can set up the play-action pass. Kings Ridge defense did read it well, but when you have one-on-one coverage, when you have man coverage, you can't blame Mangan to go ahead and throw that ball downfield and give his guy a chance.
Coach Mathis told us, anytime you see Magnum out there in single coverage downfield, let's go ahead and get him the football, and that's exactly what Colby did. Or excuse me, that's exactly what Mickey did. Same formation on 3rd and 8. Clock stops at 7:45. Mickey gets the snaps, got some pressure, releases out near side. It's going to be caught by Stubbs, but he's taken down immediately for no gain on the play. And the Paladins will be faced with 4th and long.
Able to get a few yards on that drive. Started from the 49 of enemy territory.
Able to pick up a first down, but the drive stalls out after that. Punt unit is on, and Matthew Stone back deep to receive is Hayden Milling. He's had a great return. It's a fake. They hack it to the up back, and number 52, that's the linebacker, and Nolan Stafford, he'll rumble forward across the 35. He'll pick up 5 or 6 yards, but nowhere near the first down. As Pinecrest dials up a fake punt. Maybe that changes the momentum of this contest at 6:56 remaining till halftime. Pinecrest up 7-0.
While in past games, Kings Ridge stats prove that they can get the ball down the field. So far in this game, haven't really proved it so far. So to go for a play like that, an aggressive play, to go for the fake like that, can't really blame Mathis for that.
Especially as well the defense has been playing here. 2 straight 3-and-outs.
For sure.
Can they get a third one? Quarterback under center is Flanagan. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 2 back set, they motion with 1. They fake the handoff, and they're going to go reverse with DeFelice. He's got some room to run across the 30, the 40, the 45. He's in the Paladin territory. First down and more as he's angled out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It's a great pickup of 26 yards on first down. And now all of a sudden the tide starts to turn in favor of the Tigers here right before halftime.
Kings Ridge able to fake out Pinecrest on that, thinking that they were going to run to the right, but DeFelice hops out to the left side of the field for a big gain. 1st
and 10 from the Paladins 41. First time since the first drive of the game that Kings Ridge has been into Pinecrest territory. 2 receivers to the right, 3 backs in the backfield. They keep it with the quarterback, and he is wrestled down by number 56.
Matt, I like what Pinecrest defense is doing. They're blitzing what they're showing on the field. We're going to say, hey, we have 6 people lined up on the defensive line. We're going to blitz 6 people. And it turned out to be positive right there.
Yeah, nice job by Kieran again coming off the edge. And they have taken both quarterbacks, Casey Flanagan and Braxton Chadwick, out of this contest. Normally they like to run, and when they run free, Hassan. And so they have been contained as the nucleus of this triple option attack. It's a loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12. Flanagan under center again. 4 receivers going to the contest, 2 split to each side. Flanagan gives the handoff to the fullback again, rumbles forwards for 4 yards. Back inside the chains will still bring up 3rd and long. And with 5:49 remaining till halftime, Kings Ridge will take a crucial timeout, their first of the half assigned. They're going to be faced with 3rd and 7. And if they want to try to build any sort of momentum going into halftime, this is a huge conversion, because outside of for a triple option sake, a trick play, a reverse on a pitch, that's about the only offense we've seen in this the last 3 drives out of Kings Ridge.
Yeah, and to get a comfortable lead or get any points on the board, to get a field goal, of course, obviously Kings Ridge wants to make the first down in this situation, but it seems like getting inside the 30 seems to be the goal. Obviously, a touchdown is always the goal.
I saw Joseph Patty for Kings Ridge, listed as their kicker, was warming up in pregame. And he's got a healthy leg on him. I don't know if he can hit from 40, but if you get inside the 30, you might roll the dice with a field goal if the opportunity presents itself. But for now, 3rd and they'll call it 8 after the timeout for Jimmy Chuck. Same formation, 2 receivers each side, trying to spread out the Paladins a little bit. Flanagan under center. Barks out the cadence, gives it to the fullback again, who will rumble forward for 35 to the 35, gain of 4, and I got a feeling they were playing for 4 downs to begin with.
Seems like it. We'll see what they do here on this play on 4th down.
Again, Christian Smith is that fullback, wearing number 35, junior, 6 foot tall, 180 pounds, bruising that interior Paladin defense. So now 4th and a long 3, a solid 3, I should say. First down marker sits at the 31. Traditional wing T formation. Flanagan under center. Barks the hard cadence. Little motion with Milling. Now 2nd motion with Howard. And we get another timeout. So a nice job by the Pinecrest defense there not to bite on the hard count, especially with all the motion in the backfield. Again, Hassan, we revisit our keys to the game here. And we talked about how much discipline and how much improvement this Pinecrest team has had. This is the first time we can look at the keys of the game and go, so far so good, it's gone to the game plan.
Oh, this is definitely a positive first half for Pinecrest. And even for the rest of the half, say, knock on wood, they don't score any more points, this is still a good turnout for them. The defense has been stellar. Nolan Stafford has been stellar. We'll see if they can keep it up. If Kings Ridge is actually going to make this 4 down territory and going to go for it.
And even that third key to the game there, turn persistence into more precision. I think that's exactly what they've done here in this first half. They have a 7-0 lead, first lead of the season. Can they take that lead into the halftime locker room? Imagine what that party would sound like. So Kingsridge, fourth, and again, a long three, first down markers to 31. Two receivers go split to each side. Smith is the fullback, Flanagan the quarterback, under center. They go in motion with Milling, and Smith will keep it, then pitch it to Milling. He'll have the first down across the 30 as he's taken down out of bounds by the Pinecrest cornerback and Trip Hochman. And that will move the chains. Clock stops temporarily at 4:58. Second first down, not only of this series, but since the second drive of the game for Kingsridge. They had consecutive 3-and-out possessions.
Though it's a first down for Kingsridge. Props to Hochman right there. Saw him getting past the block, but able to read the offense as well and not.
Strong to the left side here. Flanagan will keep it after the fake. He'll rumble forward to the 24-yard line, pick up 5 yards on first down. Clock's running inside 4:45 remaining till halftime. Pinecrest with all 3 timeouts. Kingsridge, only 1 remaining. Not in panic mode, or should I say hurry-up offense mode here, but you got to be cognitive of the play calling and what that clock is doing. Flanagan under center. 2 receivers to the right, wing back to that side as well. He will keep it and pitch it. And he's got a man that's caught but brought down immediately, as that'll be the cornerback again, making up and making a nice play as Ryan DeFazio, coming from that strong safety position, takes down the running back immediately in Robbie DeFelice.
Great read by Ryan DeFazio to come down there from the safety's position. Read the play, read the triple option, know that they're going to run to the right and cause a loss on that play.
It's a loss of 5, and it brings this Pine Ridge offense back behind the chains again at 3rd and 11. First down marker sits inside the red zone.
We saw Flanagan on 3rd and long, even longer on 3rd and 12. Go ahead and toss the ball and go for the run.
Flanagan looks to his left, looking for the slant. It's thrown way behind his intended target. Begging for a flag is Milling, but it's not going to come, and an incompletion will bring up 4th and 11.
I'm liking this battle right here between Millen and Hochman. Seems to be a good battle of, who's the better receiver, who's the better cornerback on that play. Obviously right there, just a misread, and the ball was just thrown behind Millen just a hair.
And you got to love the confidence for the defense to leave your receivers on an island out there, because they have committed a ton of support to stop the run. You get man-to-man on the perimeter like that, and that's a nice job to stand tall there on 3rd down. And so with 3:23 remaining till halftime, Tigers will burn their last time out on 4th and 11. I just think they had personnel issues there. Not enough guys on the field with the punt unit, and so they will save the penalty in the field position. Hassan again, watching pregame festivities with the Tigers, this would be a 46-yard field goal, and I think that is beyond the range of Patty. That's Joseph Patty.
I was watching Patty in pregame warm-ups. Usually around this side of the ball, it seems like he was fielding kicks from the 35, and he was getting right around the end zone.
Well, we're about to find out here. Patty is going to line this one up for a 46-yard field goal. The holder will be Hayden Milling. Keep an eye on him. He's that athletic, do-it-all back receiver. Got to be smart about a fake here. 3:23 left in the second quarter. This is a 46-yard field goal from the right hash, and now wisely Terrence Mathis will take a timeout. I don't know if this is either to ice the kicker. Want to make sure his defense is aware of all of the scenarios.
Even though Milling is that athletic back, that athletic player for Kingsridge, in predicament where you're like 4th and 11, it'd be kind of hard to get the first down here.
We do have a ton of space on that far side. And I imagine that's what this conversation is about. Hey, listen, let's get some pressure from the end, but let's keep 3 guys back for security measures. would be quite impressive for Joseph Patty.
Matt, it's hard on himself to block a field goal, so this is a good call by Mathis. Why not just keep players in the back, keep players open, and not rush and try to block the kick on this one.
Snap is good, hold is down, kick is up, and it didn't have the height or the distance. Valid effort there by Joseph Patty. But the 5'9", 135-pound junior just didn't have enough leg there, and so the Kings Ridge offensive effort goes for nothing on a missed field goal. And high school rules will move the football back to the 20-yard line. That's where the Paladins will take over offensively. 3:18 remaining till halftime, and 2 timeouts in your back pocket as well.
They can do it from 99 yards away. Why not from here?
Last 2 drives have been extremely successful moving down the field. Cashed one in for a touchdown, the other for a missed field goal. Shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. Mangum gets a snap, hands it off to Barosas. Bouncing out to the right side, he'll be tackled at the 20 for no gain, and the clock runs at 3:10.
Barosas initially flinched, looking like that he was going to run out to the left side of the field for a pass. Pinecrest thinking that they can keep Kings Ridge on their toes. But a play like that, a run play on that, and on 1st and 10 like that, will show that you can run the ball and you can pass it in this kind of time.
Trips to the near side, Magnum to the right. Mickey gets a snap, looks to his left, now throws it deep down the right side. Got a receiver, and Colby Magnum, and he overthrew him by just a couple of yards.
Ooh.
That's the matchup that they wanted right there. Overload one side of the field, get man-to-man coverage on the far, and the Magnum brothers just couldn't connect in the backyard.
Just a hair away, just a little bit over his head, but he did have him beat. Mingen did have him beat. It could have been a brother-to-brother connection.
I'm going to say Terrence Mathis got his play sheet out there, and he just took his John Madden pen and circled that play because Magnum, the wide receiver, ran right past the DB and Robbie DeFelice. They're going to come back to that play more than once. So now on 3rd and 10, 2:37 remaining till halftime. Adam gets pressure, wants to throw the screen out the near side. It's caught by Barosas, cuts up at the 20, trying to make a guy miss at the 25. He's taken down by the DB, Kevin Howard, right at the 26. He'll be short of the first down as the clock will run. 2:22 remaining till halftime. Got to punt this, right, Hassan? I know it's going to hurt, but you got to punt it, right?
Oh, you have to. Can't take a risk in this kind of field position.
Now we get a temporarily stoppage in play as the white hat is now barking at the Pinecrest huddle. Might have been something wrong with the ball. So they get a new ball into the game, and now the clock runs again inside 1:50 remaining. And the punt unit is on the field for Pinecrest. Stone stands at his own 15. It's a good snap. He'll roll to his left, gets the rugby punt off. High one. It's going to hit right around midfield. Bounces at the 46, runs right out of bounds, and that's where Kings Ridge will take over with 1:30. That's 90 seconds remaining till halftime, and no timeouts for a triple option offense in the Tigers. You got to think they're not going to roll over into halftime, but you just can't give up the big play here.
Oh, absolutely not.
Pinecrest defense has been rock solid in this first half.
We'll see if Kings Ridge elects to just, with a minute and a half, maybe you would want to take a chance to get down the field. But with this kind of offense and the way the defense has been playing for Pinecrest, maybe just elect to run down the clock.
So 1st and 10, Kings Ridge from their own 44-yard line. Flanagan goes under center, drops back to pass, now tucks it and run, breaks the tackle in the backfield. He'll stretch forward to the 48-yard line, giving 4 yards on first down. Clock running at 1:20.
Flanagan acting like he was going to roll out to the right, but stretches forward for about a 4-yard gain.
I would expect to see one more expanded play from the Tigers here instead of your just traditional triple option. Maybe get tradition here, then on 3rd down, something special. There's tradition, and it's handed off to Milling, and Milling again swallowed up by that Pinecrest defense. Milling will get into Palatine territory at the 49-yard line, and now Terrence Mathis wants to take his second timeout with 50 seconds remaining. on what is going to be 3rd and 2. Maybe get a stop and a solid punt return here is what coach is thinking.
Interesting timeout right there. Like I said, possibly thinking about getting the ball back. The way the offense has been playing against the Kingsbridge defense, I wouldn't be surprised about that.
I wonder if he wants to go back to that Mickey DeColby play again before halftime.
That would be lethal.
Really appreciate everyone tuned in here to Pinecrest Academy Football on SUV TV. I'm Matt Mahoney alongside Hassan Khan coming to you from Alpharetta, Georgia as the Pinecrest Paladins find themselves on the road at Van Sant Stadium on the campus of Kingsbridge Christian School. Matchup in the Region 6A. Both teams winless at 0-3 in region play. Chance to change that tonight. Right now it's the Paladins halfway to a win at 7-0. Or excuse me, up 7-0. 50 seconds remaining till halftime. They give to the fullback, which is Milling. Looks like he'll have 3 solid yards in the nose of the football. Will move the chains on 3rd and short. Now they try to hustle. Clock will stop temporarily at 44 seconds as they spot the ball and move the chains. More traditional set and a quick spike by Casey Flanagan. So that clock will stop at exactly 40 seconds. Paladins got to be smart right here, not to get their eyes rolled to sleep in that backfield and watch the receiver run past you.
CNN potentially opening up play for the offense here for Kingsbridge.
Yeah, we think another one's coming, and it could be here. 2 receivers to the right. Wingback goes that way as well. Milling's the fullback. Flanagan's the quarterback. He rolls this way to his right, got some pressure, throws it right into the turf as the pass is intended for Evan Dyer, but it's incomplete. Going to bring up 2nd and 10.
On that kind of play, when you saw Patrick Sullivan running out to the right tackle could not block him on that play, causing an incomplete pass.
Yeah, nice job by Sullivan providing pressure on the perimeter there. 3rd and 10 at the Paladin 45-yard line. Clock stops on the incomplete pass at 35 seconds. Flanagan rolls to his right again. It's a throwback to Milling. Milling's got to catch at the 45, the 40. Turns, beats a block at the 40. The 20, the 10. He's into pay dirt. Has a little 2-step crossing the end line at 2 as well. As Hayden Milling, the stud athlete at 5'11", 155-pound senior, is a PAT away from tying this ball game up on the throwback screen. We knew we would see the expanded playbook, and sure enough, they cash it in. Forward touchdown, 23 seconds remaining till the halftime horn.
Seems like the same thing happened on that play where Casey Flanagan rolled out to the right. This time, the right tackle for Kingsbridge was able to read Patrick Sullivan's blitz and was able to throw it across the field for the touchdown.
So a 45-yard touchdown pass. Flanagan to Milling will set up this PAT attempt. And Joseph Patty will split the sticks and tie this ball game up at 7-7. So Kingsbridge has an answer. It was Paladin's touchdown in the first quarter. Tigers touchdown in the second quarter. Pinecrest will get one more look at this before the halftime locker room, and we are locked in at 7 apiece.
And Matt, for Pinecrest morale, you can't think of it, you just gave up points. They haven't given up the lead. And to score 7 points early on in the first quarter, that is something huge that they can take into in the locker room in halftime.
So Kingsbridge going to tee this one up on their own 40. Back deep to receive for Pinecrest will be DeFazio and Colby Magnan. Magnan to the near hash. DeFazio to the far. Joseph Patty tees it up right in the middle of the field at the 40. Patty checks with his teammates. Now he's ready to roll. He'll pooch this one short to the far side. It'll hit in front of DeFazio about the 20, and he'll let it roll out of bounds at about the 13, and so that'll give excellent field position to the Palatins for maybe a heave and a hoe here.
You got to take a shot. We're talking about Kobe Mangan getting that one-on-one coverage. Was able to be the corner, and that miscommunication or just that pass by his brother that was just over his head by about a couple of yards. But if they can connect on that and get something done in 23 seconds, that would be pretty big.
And I'd imagine if you're Coach Chupp for Kingridge, I should say that you're going to take your John Madden pen and circle number 7. Make sure we get a safety over the top on him. 23 seconds remaining to the halftime horn. 1st and 10 from your own 35. Palatins just gave up a touchdown to keep this game, or to get this game tied at 7-7. Mangan under center in the I formation. 2 receivers to the right, offset. Fakes the pitch to the left, now rolls to his right, throws downfield, and indeed there is a receiver over top on Magnum. However, a flag on the play.
That was Milling in the safety position, being the double coverage.
As this is Robbie DeFelice with the palms up gesture to say, who, me? So this could be pass interference on the Tigers, and this would be a huge chain mover for Pinecrest with 17 seconds remaining. Indeed it is. Pass interference on the defense, and so Pinecrest will now have this football right at midfield.
.17 seconds left. Ball in midfield. Gotta love this scenario.
Would love to see Connor Sisson's leg. I don't know how long he can kick a field goal, but let's give him a shot.
And why not? Running the ball down to possibly 5 seconds or less and give him a shot.
Magnum gets heat from the left side, holds on to the football, gets rid of a tackler, now tucks it up and run. Across midfield, just runs over a guy down at the 45-yard line. Mickey Magnum making something out of nothing, and that will be the 3rd and final timeout taken by Terrence Mathis. It'll stop the clock with 5.9 seconds remaining. And as much as we wanted to see Connor Sisson's leg, we may see Mickey Magnum's arm here. Let's see how far he can throw it, right?
Definitely. You would hope you would get that man-on-man coverage. In this kind of scenario with 5 seconds left, defense is going to be playing deep. Going to be expecting the Hail Mary.
Yeah, I would imagine Kingsridge is going to have that gateway defense where they line up 3 or 4 DBs right on the goal line and wait for the ball to come to them.
This would also, if they opted to do it, would be a 63-yard field goal, but
I like the math. I do like the math.
NFL record is a 64-yarder. But
yeah. Maybe Connor's got a future. We'll find out.
Yeah.
3 receivers to the left. Indeed, it is Colby White to the right. DBs are backed up all the way to the 20-yard line. Mickey got pressure. He didn't see it coming, and he swallowed up and sacked all the way back at the 45-yard line. Clock will waste away, and there's your halftime horn. Hassan, that could have been a lot worse. Nice job for Mickey to hold on to the football there, because that's a strip sack fumble and a scoop and score probably the other way. So 7-7 here at your first half score at halftime. Palatine scored first in the first quarter, and Kingsridge answered in the second quarter. We are locked in at 7 at halftime. Hassan, as we revisit our 3 keys to the game, your assessment, how many of them have gone the Palatine's way, and maybe how the Tigers enforced their will on those keys?
Well, I think out of all 3 keys to the game, I think we've seen a little bit of all 3 of them. We start fast, start strong, maybe not on the first possession of the game, but you score a touchdown with 4 minutes and 34 seconds left in the first quarter.
Check.
That is huge.
Check.
And just even the second one, limit the big play on defense, giving up a touchdown just late in the second quarter to tie it up to 7-7. It took them about a quarter and a half to score a touchdown for Kingsridge, and then turn persistence into more precision. Matt, we've seen that on both sides of the ball for Pinecrest.
Again, Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12 college preparatory Catholic school, providing an atmosphere of academic rigor and critical thinking while offering personalized attention in a Christ-centered environment of faith and reason. Call today to set up an appointment to Pinecrest or visit their website at pinecrestacademy.org to learn more about their award-winning school. We're going to step aside here at halftime. 7-7 is your score. Upon our return, we will talk about halftime adjustments and get you second half action between Pinecrest and Kings Ridge in a huge Region 6A matchup. You're watching Pinecrest Academy football powered by SUV TV.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by O'Rourke Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, Haines Sports Medicine, S.J. Palzo, Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, Atlanta Rehabilitation Center, Billy Howe Ford, and Alessio's Restaurant and Pizzeria.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford. With 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty coverage. Plus 12-month, 12,000-mile limited warranty coverage. Ford Certified Pre-Owned, a car that's inspected by Ford and backed by Ford. So what does that mean to you? Relax, it's covered.
I got a high ankle sprain going for a rebound.
Injuries are part of playing.
I got hit catching a pass and broke my collarbone.
So it's good to know that the sports medicine doctors, therapists, and athletic trainers at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta are experts at treating young athletes. If your child suffers any kind of sports-related injury,
I got hit and dislocated my shoulder.
bring him to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Alpharetta, Georgia, on the campus of Kings Ridge Christian here at Van Sant Stadium. Matt Mahoney alongside Hassan Khan again. Pinecrest Academy is a private pre-K through 12 college preparatory Catholic school, providing an atmosphere of academic rigor and critical thinking while offering personalized attention and a Christ-centered environment of faith and reason. Call today to schedule a visit to Pinecrest or their website at pinecrestacademy.org to learn more about their award-winning school. Hassan, locked up at 7-7 here at halftime. Both teams coming out of that halftime locker room. Under Terrence Mathis, what was the message?
Well, I would say if you're Pinecrest and their offense, the main focus is the offensive line because you got to pick up the blitz right there. They've been good. They've been solid so far. Kings Ridge hasn't blitzed a lot of players, had only 3 linemen down at the line most of the time, but there have been times where the tackles did get beat and have cost pressure to make it.
Interesting on the offensive side, we've seen some success out of that I formation. Do they go back to that or stick to the fun and gun that we've seen out of the shotgun traditionally previous to tonight? Defensively for Pinecrest, what's some of the adjustments you got to make versus this triple option? Again, the triple option we've contained, it's those explosive big plays it's an expansion of the Kings Ridge playbook that have caused some problems for Pinecrest.
Absolutely. I would say so far Pinecrest defense have had a solid showing so far in the first half. Biggest thing that they got to worry about, they can't give up big plays like they did to Hayden Milling towards the end of the first half.
So it was Pinecrest that won the toss and elected to receive. They scored first in the first quarter. Kings Ridge scored on their last offensive possession to end the second quarter. And now the Tigers will start with a possession to start the second half. Connor Sisson puts his right foot on the pigskin, end over end toward the end zone. It's actually going to be bobbled by DeFelice. He'll pick it up at the 11, scamper across the 15, and he's taken down by a whole host of gold helmets at the 18-yard line. Almost disastrous for the Tigers right out of the halftime locker room.
Powerful kick caused DeFelice to muff that kickoff return and get him inside the 20-yard line. Already a good sign for the morale for Pinecrest.
So the Tigers will take over on their own 18-yard line. Jumping into the huddle will be Casey Flanagan. We saw the first 2 series, Braxton Chadwick, wearing 15, be the quarterback. He actually lines up to the wide receiver on the near side. Since then, it's been Flanagan at QB. They fake the dive, keeper for Flanagan, and he is swallowed in the backfield by that middle linebacker and John Stone Brown, defensive lineman who's got responsibility over that quarterback, and he takes down the Tiger quarterback.
You saw Flanagan wanted to hand it off to DeFelice, who was in the motion, but the Pinecrest defense, too fast, too quick, pressuring Flanagan for the sack.
Hassan, recollect for me, I think maybe once, 2 at the most that the Kings Ridge has been able to pitch that ball on the triple option. It's basically been a double option so far. It's either a dive or a quarterback keeper.
Yeah, we haven't seen it that much. Pinecrest definitely on top of it.
Flanagan again in the 3-back set. Gets a snap, drops back to pass, looks over the middle of the field, throws a ball deep down the right side of the field. It's going to be a 50-50 jump ball, and it's caught by Hayden Milling down this near sideline at the 45-yard line. It's going to be a pitch and catch of about 26 yards and a first down for the Tigers.
On that play, we saw 6 people lined up, blitzing Casey Flanagan. We had an extra linebacker, so making it 7, and you had 4 people on coverage, had man-to-man coverage. Kings Ridge saw that, took it to their advantage, and Hayden Milling able to come up with a catch.
Just the second completion of the night for Flanagan. The first one went for a touchdown. Second one moves the change and changes the field position. First and 10 from the own 45. Flanagan goes back under center. 3-back set, 2 receivers to the near side. Barks out the cadence, gets the snap. He will keep it and go off to the left side, and he'll be hit right at about the 47 and roll forward to the 49. Casey Flanagan to pick up a 4. 6'2", 160 pounds, but one of the better athletes on the team as well.
Don't know if it was a halftime locker room prep talk by head coach Jimmy Chupp or just some fresh legs able to catch their breath, but so far for Kings Ridge, in under 2 minutes, looks like they're moving downfield. For Pinecrest, however, if they can just keep it 7-7 on this drive, cause them to punt, that'll be huge for their momentum.
Tigers had a little bit of momentum going into the halftime locker room. Now they're trying to keep that going coming out of the locker room. Here's a keeper up the middle for Flanagan again. He'll have the first down and more across the 35, chased down to the 30. And all of a sudden here, you mentioned it, Hassan, Jimmy Chupp has made some adjustments here, and Flanagan has gotten loose more than once. I don't know if he had positive yards rushing in total for the first half, probably a negative. Most of it has to do with sacks too as well, but definitely has positive yards rushing here in the second half.
Matt, you mentioned it before. They had the momentum at the end of the half going into the locker room. Anytime there's halftime where everybody goes in the locker room, there seems to be a little bit of stoppage, and it's easy for your momentum to fall, but that doesn't seem to be the case for Kings Ridge.
1st and 10 at the Paladins, 31-yard line. 2 receivers go splits each side. Lone man in the backfield is Thomas Smith. Flanagan's got the hot hand right now, under center, the quarterback. He will dive and I think keep it. Somebody kept it, but for gain of none. That was a classic case of that triple option. Fullback wanted to keep it, quarterback wanted to keep it as well, and so they basically stopped the momentum of each other, and that D-line for the Paladins keeps them to no gain.
Zachary Schechman, the defensive lineman, coming in on that play, causing only a 1-yard gain. And we saw Patty kick in during the halftime, warming up. Around this field goal range, maybe a little bit closer, he was able to make it.
Another keeper for Flanagan, gets the pitch out to the main man in Milling, but he is tackled in the backfield for a loss by the DB on the far side of Ryan DeFazio.
And if you're the Kings Ridge kicker, Joseph Patty, during the warm-ups, during the halftime, they were able to make the field goals at about 30 yards out, it seems like. If they're able to get to that 30-yard line, seems like they have a chance, but it is a different story, like you said.
Seems like he was comfortable from 30. You get him close to the 40, and it got a little fishy after that.
When there's 11 men rushing towards you.
Yeah, that changes the things too as well. 3rd and 11 from the 32. Motion in the backfield. Flanagan fakes the snap, throws it up down the middle of the field, looking for Milling, but he's covered very well in that Paladin secondary by Michael Barosis.
Barosis with excellent coverage on that play. And it seems like with the triple option Kings Ridge offense, we've seen it all game. DeFelice in motion, running out, jet sweep to the right. They were able to chuck it downfield with a man coverage. They saw in the play earlier with Hayden Milling, it panned out. Able to pick up the first down on that, it did not.
So now Jimmy Chupp, the 27-year veteran head coach, and his second year at the helm for the Tigers, will take a timeout and talk this one over. I got a feeling if they had positive yardage on 3rd down, they might have went for it on 4th. With that momentum, we talked about carrying it out of the halftime locker room, but that incomplete pass down the middle of the field now makes Coach Chupp scratch his head just a little bit, because we mentioned it. Hassan, your math better than mine. This would be a 50-yard field, 49-yard field goal from here, and so this is definitely beyond the range of Joseph Patty. But do you have something, I say in your playbook, or maybe you get a stick out and draw something in the dirt here on 4th and 11?
Earlier in the game in the first half, they did go for it on 4th and 3, but that was 4th and 3 around this area. They were in 4-down territory. This seems like 4th and 11.
Don't know how many plays are in the playbook for 4th and 11. We saw a throwback screen for a touchdown in the second quarter to Milling. And if I'm Pinecrest, you got to keep an eye on number 6 lined up on the outside of the perimeter here, wide receiver. 2-back set, wing goes to the left side. Flanagan under center, motion with Howard. Gets a snap, drops back, looks to his right, looking for that man in Milling. Double coverage this way, and it'll be intercepted! Excellent coverage on the play by the Pinecrest secondary. It's the DB manned up, Sawyer Hofsteller with Hayden Millings, and he gets not only the interception, but possession back for Pinecrest.
And on that play, Sawyer Hofsteller was playing a little bit off of Hayden Milling, not playing him tight because he knows that Milling is fast enough to beat him downfield. He would have had help with the safety, but Sawyer Hofsteller, good read on that play to get the interception.
I think maybe in film on Monday, the coach will talk about knocking that ball down and you get a lot more positive progression on the incomplete pass on 4th down. But at this point for Pinecrest and Hofstadter, let's get the interception. It feels good.
Absolutely.
Mangan with a counter play here to Barosis. He'll get maybe positive yardage out to about the 9.
Looks good on the stats, get the interception.
Absolutely. So again, Mickey Magnum, the quarterback for the Palatins, literally runs in and out of the huddle to the sideline to get the play from Terrence Mathis and sprints back onto the field. He's going to be the best, the quarterback that's in the best shape in the entire country.
Has to be.
So here's the I formation. Mathis had success with this in the first half. Goes back to it here in the second half. Off tackle play, breaking a couple tackles and getting through into that second level of the Tigers defense out to about the 14. It's a sloppy gain of 7, but we'll definitely take 3rd and short.
In the first quarter, they ran 3 straight plays in the I formation when they were inside the 5-yard line, and it panned out for them, able to run 99 yards for the touchdown.
So this will call it 3rd and a long 3. First down marker sits at the 17. Mangan under center. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. I formation again, hands it off to Barosas. Barosas will have the first down right at the 18. This will all depend on the spots, Hassan. He got through the first wave of defenders, then tackled from behind. No measurement needed. The man in the white cap eyeballs it and says, we've got 10 yards. Move the chains for Pinecrest.
Tough running by Michael Barosas. We saw 3 straight plays in the I formation. As we mentioned before, ball down at the 1-yard line, able to get inside the 5-yard line, run the I formation, throw a deep pass and complete it for the touchdown.
I formation again with Barosas. He'll run right through the teeth of the defense, and he will take down across the 20 into the 22. It's more positive yardage on first down for this Paladin defense, who apparently assessed that I formation at halftime and they didn't want to throw it out the window. They kept it in their back pocket, and now it may be an entire sheet in the playbook.
The best offenses run off of a balance of run plays and pass plays. In this scenario, however, it seems like they're staying in the I formation. Right now they're lining up in the shotgun, but will they run the ball, will they pass it?
Right when you thought you figured it out. Shotgun set, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Barosas again in the backfield. He will fake the handoff. Magnum will keep it, and on a busted play, he'll pick up little to no yards.
Kind of the message that they're sending to the Kings Ridge defense is saying, hey, we're going to run the ball. We know that you know that we're going to run the ball, but we're still going to pound it past you.
Can you stop it is the question. So now, 3rd and medium here. First down marker again sits at the 27-yard line. We'll call it 3rd and 5. Mangan gets into the huddle, calls the play. Shotgun trips to the left, 1 to the right. Binkley in the backfield. Magnum gets a snap, drops back to pack. Quick slant over the middle. He's got his brother Colby for a first down across the 30-yard line. Sweet pitch and catch, just like you draw it up that I'm sure they've done 100 times in the backyard on a quick slant on 3rd and 5.
Happened before. One of the biggest plays in the game was a pass play to the middle of the field, running down the field, trying to get the yards after the catch. Kings Ridge defense playing back, playing the safeties over up top. But if they're able to complete the passes in the middle of the field and rely on the receivers to get the yards out the catch, they can go down the field and get big yardage.
1st and 10 at the 30. They'll give it off to Binkley. Binkley cuts up with the tackle. He'll have positive yardage across the 35 and all the way down to the 40. It's a solid gain of 9 for Brooks Binkley.
Boy, Binkley just doesn't go down. Takes about 2 or 3 guys to get him down.
I wonder if he had a good week of practice. This is a question I want to ask Coach Mathis next week is, he wasn't the featured back by any means in the first 4 weeks of the season, but I wonder if he had a good week of practice and do a little thunder and lightning with Binkley and Barosas.
And going in the future is going to be the future back.
Absolutely. 2 receivers each side. They motion with Sullivan. Yo-yo's back to the tackle spot. Binkley gets the snap, makes one guy miss, but not the second. His legs are cut out underneath him by the outside linebacker and Christian Smith. Giving positive yardage out to the 38. This will bring up another 3rd and short. First down marker sits at the 41. We'll call it 3rd and 3. There's going to be 3:15 remaining in this 3rd quarter.
Quarter's going by fast because the ball is just being, seems like the running game is what's this to be going for both teams.
Yo-yo's the motion again. Counter play. got a man in the flats, wide open is Stubbs. He'll make the catch in first down territory, and he'll move forward into Tiger territory. Nice little pitch and catch on a play-action pass. Will pick up 12 yards on 3rd and 3.
And when you run the ball so effectively, especially on this drive, it sets up such a good opportunity for play-action passes. Right there, for instance, to Stubbs, whose name we haven't heard all game, all day. Kings Ridge defense did not see him coming, able to complete the pass.
Back to the shotgun set. Brinkley gets a snap. He'll roll to the right side here, across the 45, the 40. Got the first down marker, drags a couple of Tigers with him, and it's a gain of 12.
This is the kind of running that you love to see. This guy will not go down.
Pounding the football, ball control offense. You're looking at a possession that's been longer than 7 minutes in this 3rd quarter. We talked about momentum for Kings Ridge. That has gone out the window here, and right now it's just Pinecrest pounding the football at this Tiger defense. 1st and 10 from the 36. Numbers will start to count down as you get closer to the end zone. Magnum in a shotgun set with Binkley again. Counter play to the right. He'll take the snap, got some blockers, cross the 35, and he'll lunge forward at about the 32. More positive yardage, and a late flag comes all the way on the far side of the field. When we talk about momentum, this could swing things in either direction. And this is some extracurricular activity on the backside too as well, Hassan. There is no telling who this is going against. This is a huge handkerchief that sits at the 32. Would have been a gain of 4 and brought up about 2nd and 5. Man down on the far sideline for Kings Ridge, and I think that's the Pinecrest training staff that's helping out the Tiger, what looks to be the universal sign for cramping. Hassan, I'm no doctor, but I'm here to tell you that whoever's down in a purple shirt on the far side is alert and at least responding to the medical attention.
Oh, you would have to guess so, yes. Penalty seems to be against Pinecrest.
Oh, did you happen to see it? I missed it.
Did see that it was against Pinecrest. Wasn't
Okay.
able to see what it was called for.
That's a new one for me. Oh, blindside block. Thank you.
Blindside block.
So that's a 15-yard penalty. It'll negate the positive yardage on first down. And this will put the Paladins back behind the chains.
Shout out to our crew member, Corey, for letting us know what that penalty was. And obviously a player down. And
I learned something last week, Hassan. You know you can't hurdle in high school football?
Is that true?
Can't leave your feet, jump over a defender. Corey helped me out with that one last week. No idea.
It's a new one. I did not know about that.
And I just thought the referee was giving himself a hand pound. I thought he was, hey, I'm doing a good job out here, hand pound. But that was
Yeah, why not?
the symbol for blindside block. Did not know that one either. The man that was down for Kings Ridge is now up. That's Thomas Smith. A little ginger on that left side. And again, no doctor up here in the booth, but that's the old international sign for cramping. Out of nowhere, too, we turned the calendar from September, October. Still, it's quite humid night here in October for high school football on a Friday night.
Seems like it, but it's Georgia,
That's true.
Could be 40 degrees tomorrow. Who knows?
There is a storm rolling this way to the Atlanta area. Should cool temperatures off. So now it's going to bring up 1st and 21. First down marker sits all the way at the 26-yard line. As the referee will blow the whistle to start play. Magnum hands it off to Binkley. Binkley up the middle, down to the 45-yard line. Minimal gain on what's first and a long way to go.
Binkley is one of those guys where if he picks up speed and picks up momentum, has some open yardage, and it has an open field ahead of him, you're not going to tackle him head on.
Yep.
You're going to have to sweep him underneath his feet. You're going to have to get 2 of your teammates to help take him down with him.
It gradually gets worse. For a defensive lineman, they want to tackle Binkley because they're not going to get shook. They're not going to get run over. They're just going to make tackles. Linebackers really don't want to deal with him, and DBs want nothing to do with him.
Absolutely.
2 receivers to each side. They yo-yo the motion with Stubbs. They fake it to Binkley, and they got a man wide open to flats. It is Stubbs. Stubbs with a catch across the 45. He'll rumble over Howard to the 39-yard line, back toward the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and long. Oh, bad spot back to the 39. I thought he got back to the 37. So this will bring up 3rd and 12. Excuse me. Yes, 3rd and 12.
Again, very similar to the play that we saw earlier with the play action and the reception with Stubbs. Again, his second reception of the game, and it was off another play-action pass.
Clock counting down here, inside a minute left in the third period. Paladins will have time to get one more play off. And a 7-7 ball game, and now we get a stoppage and play on a whistle and a legal substitution. Oh, excuse me, delay game. I think they recalibrated that play clock there. I think it was awful quick, that first two series. That one seemed a little bit more like it. Magnum came.
Yeah, it seems like it. This whole quarter's been going pretty fast.
Yeah. So now what was 3rd and 12 is now 3rd and 17. With 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Shotgun set, two receivers each side. Stubbs in motion again, goes back out into the flats. Magnum drops back to pass, got the pressure, throws one out on the near side, looking for Stubbs. It's incomplete at the 32-yard line. Hassan, a catch there is well short of the first down, but Stubbs is a big fella out there in space. Could have made the extra yak.
Oh, absolutely. It seemed like on that play, Jack Harrell, the linebacker for Kings Ridge, coming in on the blitz to help the three defensive linemen, came in late on the blitz, and Brooks Binkley not quick enough to pick it up, and it did pressure Mingan into throwing that towards Stubbs just a little too quickly.
That's the worst. As a quarterback, you want to know what that linebacker is doing, because not only is he fast and physical, you don't want him to get to you. And so when they kind of hang out at that second level, it looks like they're just going to drop into zone coverage or provide run support. But when they come from that standing still position on a blitz, that's the worst, because 9 times out of 10 as a quarterback, you really don't have him accounted for. If he shows blitz, okay, you can shift coverage or keep your running back in close, or at least mentally you can know, hey, I've got to account for him. But, man, a straight blitz from that second level is a tough thing to deal with. So, nice job by Magnum to get that ball out of his hands. We had an injury time out there. Stubbs came up limp, holding that right calf. And so, referees have taken this upon themselves to add a water break for themselves. Last thing you want is a zebra out there cramping up on the prairie. So now incomplete pass is going to bring up 4th and, again, 18. First down marker sits all the way at the 26-yard line.
Positive note on this is that if this punt is successful, you can get it pretty good field position.
Yeah, Stone stands inside his own 45, gets a snap, rolls to his left. Rugby punt is straight up in the air as Milling will fair catch it right at the 17-yard line. And a nice job by Pinecrest to at least change field position and at least hold off some of that momentum that the Tigers had out of that halftime locker room.
Absolutely. Just a good punt in that situation by Matthew Stone, the punter, to get it inside the 20-yard line, have a lot of hang time on that punt, not allowing Hayden Milling to get an opportunity to run it down the field, which he has done, or he's shown his athletic ability throughout this game.
Can't say enough about Matthew Stone's improvement from week 1 to week 5. Without a doubt, the most improved player on this team for the Paladins. So now, Flanagan goes back to work under center. Traditional wing T set, receiver split to each side. Milling motions across the face in formation. Flanagan rolls that way, wants to keep it, and he is going to be hog-tied down back inside his own 15-yard line. The first Paladin there, you guessed it, Nolan Stafford. It seems like he broke the film meeting on Monday, and Coach went, Stafford, Flanagan, understand each other, and wherever he goes, you go, and Stafford has done a great job in this ball game.
That was a big play going into the fourth quarter.
Well, Hassan, we'll take a quick break, and we'll come right back. Two teams that are winless in Region 6A play are tied going into the final frame. Don't go anywhere, folks. On the other side of this break, we'll find out who will get their first region win of the season. You're watching Pinecrest Academy Football, powered by SUV TV.
This Pinecrest Academy football broadcast is brought to you by O'Rourke Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, Haines Sports Medicine, S.J. Palzo, Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery, Atlanta Rehabilitation Center, Billy Howe Ford, and Alessio's Restaurant and Pizzeria.
If you want a used vehicle, but you also want peace of mind, you want a Ford certified pre-owned vehicle. Because every Ford CPO vehicle is given a rigorous 172-point inspection by Ford factory-trained technicians. From the radiator to the transmission, to the engine, to the air conditioning. And every Ford CPO vehicle is backed by Ford. With 7-year, 100...
After the sack on Flanagan, it'll pick up 2nd and 15. We'll flip sides of the field. Tigers go right to left here in the final frame. They hand it off to DeFelice. He'll pick up a couple yards out to across the 16 and bring up 3rd and long. Hassan, we're in the final period here with two teams that are desperate for a win in region play. Pinecrest may be more desperate than Kings Ridge. I don't know, but what I do want to know, I want you to dig into that crystal ball just a little bit here, and I want you to tell me if Pinecrest is able to pull off this win, who's the hero? Who's the man that brings home the victory?
I had Brooks Binkley originally as my hero.
Unfortunately. I think, again, I think this is another cramp. Yeah, he's kind of holding that right hamstring. That's the international sign for cramping here. Training staff quick on the scene. So go ahead with that thought.
Well, I originally picked Brooks Binkley because
good pick, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, it was my pick because maybe he won't get a touchdown, but he'll chew enough time off the clock, maybe get in field goal range, so they can go ahead and make it 10-7, and the defense can just hold off Kings Ridge. But hopefully Binkley is all right, and we'll see if he returns to the game.
Well, I'm going to go back to a tidbit that I learned about 3 hours ago. Before kickoff, our producer, Marcus Burnett, said, if you've got Mickey and Colby in your fantasy lineup, you need to put in your roster, you need to put him in. And so that's what I'm going with. Colby Magnum on the perimeter wide receiver is going to make a big play in this fourth quarter for Pinecrest for the win. That's what I'm going with.
Good prediction.
That's my man. So here we go. Flanagan in right now. Kings Ridge with the football. 3rd and 12. Flanagan rolling to his right, assessing his options. Breach Stafford throws a one-hopper off the turf. We are going to get a completion that is a first down out to a 31. Hassan, if Terrence Mathis had the red NFL flag to challenge, he would throw it as high as he could right now because that ball skipped off the turf. However, there's a yellow flag on the play back at the 14-yard line, and that one goes in Pinecrest's favor for a hold.
Star linebacker Nolan Stafford again pressuring Casey Flanagan. We'll find out if they can capitalize off that penalty.
Yeah, Marcus working hard behind the scenes on that replay. That ball hit off the turf, no doubt. So luckily for the Paladins, that ball is nullified thanks to the holding penalty. And so what would have been 1st and 10 on the one hopper is now going to bring up 3rd and, I'm going to say 21. 3rd and a bus ride for the Tigers. They're backed up inside their own 10. I was close, 3rd and 22. Flanagan goes under center. Milling is the potential hero for the Tigers. Lined up in a one-back set, 2 receivers each side. Flanagan gets a snap, hands it off to Milling. Milling makes a cut across the 10, trying to bounce it outside. He runs out of room, but now he cuts the corner, breaks the tackle, and he'll have the first down, and now a late hit's going to come flying in. So Milling, who made a nice cut, breaking a tackle in the backfield, somehow got the corner on the DBs for Pinecrest. I thought he ran out of bounds at about the 25, which would have been short of the first down. But instead, he cuts up across the 30, and they're going to attack on 15 more yards and a late hit out of bounds.
Seemed like he also got the ball hit out of his hands as well. It's hard to see on that side of the field if the ball was out.
Milling a little shaken up on that late hit, too. He'll come off and grab a swig. Kind of get regrouped because they're going to need 6 in purple to come back into this game. So unfortunately for Pinecrest, what was 3rd and 22 inside the opponent's 10 is now a 1st and 10 out to the 1st and 10 out to the 46-yard line for Kings Ridge.
But will their momentum switch without Hayden Milling in the game? The person that's recorded the lone touchdown for Kings Ridge.
Traditional wing-back set. Flanagan under center. He will keep it off to the left side here. Breaks a tackle, breaks a second. He'll be crushed right at the 49-yard line by none other than Stone Brown.
Huge hit. That was nasty.
Brown laid the wood there. It was almost as if midfield was a wall held by Stone himself. And Flanagan was not crossing. Only a gain of 3, if you can believe that.
Something that set up that big hit that a lot of people don't realize is just the continuous blitz and the continuous beat on the right tackle by Patrick Sullivan.
A containment, keeping Flanagan between the tackles. I couldn't agree more. 2nd and 7, Flanagan back under center. Motion with DeFelice, and then they give it to the fullback right up the gut. Been a long time since he said his name, but it's the fullback, Christian Smith, with the carry, and he'll have the first down on the gain of 6.5.
Still a lot of football left in this game. 10 minutes and counting. Kings Ridge is in Pinecrest territory, but the defense has been solid so far for Pinecrest. We'll see if they can at least limit them to a punt.
Tigers spread it out a little bit. 2 receivers at a far. Motion again with DeFelice. We get motion in the backfield with Christian Smith, and he'll be flagged for the false start. So after not saying his name since about the first quarter, we're going to say Christian Smith's name in back-to-back plays, 1 positive, 1 negative. And that will back up this triple option offense to the 48-yard line and bring up 1st and 15.
Just that continuous blitz by Patrick Sullivan will be huge. Making Flanagan, keeping him on his toes, making him roll out to the left.
Still no milling for the Tigers. Flanagan under center. He'll keep it off the right side. He'll get 5 yards back to the original line of scrimmage. And the Tigers and Flanagan, again, trying to get a little momentum from that quarterback rushing the football.
Milling on the sideline, just taking a knee.
He's not protesting.
Just recuperating and getting his health back and catching his breath.
Powering up, so to speak.
Yeah, you know. It's
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. 2 receivers come to the left. Wingback comes that way as well. Motion with DeFelice. They hand it to Smith up the middle. He'll rumble forward for 5 yards. And this will bring up 3rd and 5. And as Coach picks up the collar of Braxton Chadwick, he turns and looks to Milling. Milling gives the head nod and the thumbs up, and Coach Chupp puts him into the game. So Chadwick's got the play. He's going to tell it to Flanagan, but with 8:20 remaining in this 4th quarter in a tie ball game, Milling will check in. He'll go to the wingback spot on the right side. Flanagan under center. 3rd and 5. Motion again. And they will hand it to Smith. Smith will wrestle with the defender, get across the 35, and Hassan, he's close. He's close to that first down as the clock ticks inside 8 minutes. No chain measurement. They're going to say he's short, and it's a solid 4th and 1.
This is 4-down territory for Kings Ridge. Not quite in the field goal range for Joseph Patty. And they're going for it.
Got to think Christian Smith, who's had success over the last couple carries and picking up at least a yard, is going to be your man here for the Tigers. Flanagan under center. Will hand it to Smith. He'll get hit right at the line of scrimmage, and I'm not so sure he got it, Hassan. I am not sure he got it.
Have to hear an official calling from the referee.
The referee coming in on the near side is right at the first down marker. Meanwhile, the referee on the far side has a first down and more. Which spot do they go with? They'll go with the spot down to the 31-yard line, and that is a pickup of 3 yards. Hassan, that did not look like a 3-yard rush to me.
Seemed very favorable. You saw the Pinecrest sideline, head coach Terrence Mathis.
I mean, that ball is across the 32, and he was rocked at the line of scrimmage.
Guess the referees said that no part of his body touched the ground. He was falling forward.
Hassan, I don't know about in your household, but my household, we've got a dining room table. And typically dining room tables are about 6 to 8 feet. Do you think Smith ran the length of your dining room table at home?
From my vantage point, it doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it, but
sometimes I've been told that I'm crazy, so I just want to make sure I wasn't going crazy up here.
Well, if you're crazy, Matt, I'm crazy with you.
Hey, I like it. I like it, buddy. So the only person that saw a dining room table gain was the one that mattered the most, and that's the official down there on the field to move the chains at 1st and 10. Right at the 31-yard line. 7:17 remaining after a timeout by Terrence Mathis. And again, that's a very wise timeout to get your team regrouped after a tough spot. And I mean that literally and figuratively.
And a lot of people don't agree with that call and may say that he came up short, but it is what it is. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but you just have to say, hey,
gotta
look,
deal with it.
It's a first down. You got to deal with it. Don't let this get in the way, get in the mentality, get in your defensive game plan.
Receiver split a little bit wider out to the near side with DeFelice. Flanagan under center. They got motion with Milling. They'll give it to Smith again. And that time Smith got a dinner table and more.
Maybe the defensive lineman for Pinecrest might have to pinch a little bit more. May have to cause Flanagan to go out to the left or the right for that option.
Solid pickup of 3 yards. Brings up 2nd and 7. Inside 7 minutes remaining in this ball game. Tied at 7 between two teams that are 0-3 in Region 6A play. Flanagan hands it off to Smith again. Smith rumbles forward. Actually, there's 2 dog piles there, and Flanagan did indeed give it to Smith. Even the side judge on the near side is running in, not knowing who had the football. Smith had it, and he'll pick up another 2 or 3 yards. I think everybody for the Pinecrest defense did their job there. They tackled the fullback, the quarterback, and I got a feeling if the water girl came on the field, they might have tackled her too.
It's hard to tell who has the ball with the triple option offense. Just tackle everyone.
Especially when they run away from us. You know, if I can see the football, I can tell, but when they go to the far side of the field, it's tough. So it's now 3rd and 6, just a 1-yard gain for, I think, Smith. Flanagan under center, motion with Milling. He's been quiet. They'll run the reverse play again with DeFelice, trying to cut the angle off. Felice at the 30. Felice cuts up at the 25, and he'll have the first down to the 19-yard line. We saw that play in the first half with DeFelice. What looks like a triple option pitch to the far side. It's a reverse as DeFelice cuts in between the tailback and the quarterback. He'll pick up the end around for the first down. And now Kings Ridge in field goal range, and they smell blood in the water. With 5:42 remaining in the 4th quarter, they are thinking 7 here to go in for the kill. 3 receivers come to the left side. Flanagan likes to roll this way in this formation. Smith is the fullback. Motion with Howard. Flanagan keeps it, pitches to Howard. A lot of room to their side. Across the 20, trying to be chased down. Got the corner at the 15, 10-5, reaching for the pylon. He's out of bounds at the 2. So just when we've seen Flanagan roll to that strong side with the receivers blocking on the perimeter, they actually run the triple option in the wide open spaces. They pitch it to Howard. That's the first time tonight Howard's got loose outside of the tackles and in space.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Nolan Stafford with the missed tackle on that play, but right now with the ball at the 1-yard line, you would think that they would run with Smith again. Pound it in there. Pinecrest has to be on their toes on this one.
Flanagan under center again. Ball's at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. Tackles and guards come in tight. Flanagan, quarterback keeper. He's pushed into the end zone. Touchdown for the Tigers.
Like I said, Matt, on that play, they were just expecting to pound it up the middle. Don't want to do anything pretty and risk the chance of losing yardage onto the outside. But able to get the touchdown on that, and upcoming with the PAT will make it a 7-point game. Joseph Patty with the point after attempt.
Snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good as well. So Joseph Patty makes it a full 7-point lead for Kings Ridge. And we've got ourselves a back and forth contest here in the 4th quarter. And Hassan, we talked about the growth of this team, the growth of this, the culture adjustment. Not necessarily a culture change, but a culture adjustment underneath Terrence Mathis, how this team continues to improve and get better and better each week. Today was going to be different. They had a chance to win. They came out, all of our keys of the game, check all 3 of them off at halftime. Hassan, you know this as well as I do. The next step in this maturation process is learning how to win. We've got an opportunity right here with 5:13 left in the fourth quarter. You'll get the football back. You've got your entire playbook in hand and a chance to win a ball game.
And it might come down to your guy, your key player of the game, Colby Mangan. If he can get that single coverage and just throw that deep ball, that brother-to-brother connection, that can be huge. But so far, this defense, they can't let the morale take a hit with that touchdown. Going into this game, they were giving up 42 points a game, and now limiting them to 14 points, that's a big step.
Yeah, again, another big step in the right direction. You're absolutely right. And we will try our best not to forget that. This is a knuckleball coming toward the near sideline for the second time tonight. It'll be Joseph Patty that launches a kickoff out of bounds. And so there's a good start to the comeback, Hassan. Excellent field position out to what will be the 35-yard line. With 5:13 remaining, there's no need to panic. There's no need to rush or install some 2-minute offense. Just run your offense like you normally do. March right on down the field and score touchdowns. That's simple, right?
Just fundamental football. That's it. But
you got 2 timeouts in your back pocket as well to work with. Clock will stop when you move the chains and when you get out of bounds.
Great field position.
Yep. 2 receivers each side. Magnum in the shotgun. Looks to his right, and that comes back to his left. Throws the ball well short there of his intended target. That was the touchdown pass from the first quarter with Barosas coming out of the backfield on that, some people call the triangle route. Running back in the backfield, runs toward the tight end spot, cuts back toward the middle. Incomplete.
Kings Ridge did give up 2 big plays down in the middle to Barosas and to Mangan. At that point, they had a lot of purple shirts in the middle of the field.
Same formation, same personnel. Magnum gets the snap, and now we get movement on the far side. I believe Colby got a little anxious and moved before the ball was snapped. Indeed it is. False start. And that'll result in a 2nd and 15 effort from your own 30. I will say, though, Hassan, it looks like Kings Ridge is going a little bit looser coverage. They're not as tight on the perimeter as what they were in the first half.
Maybe Kings Ridge is expecting them to hurry it up and have that panic mode for Pinecrest, but like you mentioned, Terrence Mathis cannot be in that panic mode.
Magnum goes with a screen near side, and that pass by no means was intended for Barosas. Nice job by Mickey to just throw that ball away for an incompletion. By the way, I will mention the 2 safeties over the middle of the field for Kings Ridge. How about Flanagan and Milling? The 2 guys that have carried this team offensively in the second half are out there defensively at safety. So this is a dangerous 3rd and 15, undoubtedly. Well, I say undoubtedly. There's 5 minutes left. But I would imagine this is 4-down territory.
If it's 4-down territory, you probably just have to get a little bit of yardage here and then.
Magnum in the shotgun set. Looks to his right, and that cuts back to his left. Got some green grass to run. He'll be across the 30. Ducks his head and runs a man over at the 35. He'll get out to the 40. This would bring up 4th and manageable, however. Flag on the play back at the 25, and this is normally the general vicinity of holding. And indeed it is.
How about the run by Mickey Mangan? Powerful.
I like the idea. We just need to lead with the non-throwing shoulder.
I agree.
It's like he had the ball in the left hand, which is the outside. It's the right thing to do. But ducking that right shoulder and running a guy over,
it can be dangerous.
Let's switch hands a little bit there. Maybe go with the spin move. What is that? Circle?
That is circle. That is circle okay. or B.
B.
I think it's B. I don't know.
Okay. So the holding play on 3rd and 15 will now bring up 3rd and 25 all the way back to your own 15. Hassan, that first down marker sits all the way to your own 45. I stand corrected. That ball sits at your own 15-yard line. First down marker is the 45. Long way to go here on 3rd and long. Adam gets a snap, looks to his left, comes back over the middle of the field, looking for his intended target. Hit the hands of Sullivan, but he was double covered and couldn't hold on to it. Still would have been a solid 15 yards short of the first down. But now your hand is forced a little bit to punt with 4:32 remaining in this ball game.
Patrick Sullivan, who's been making some huge plays on defense. They were again going with the strategy to hit the middle of the field. That one just got away from them. cannot connect, but if they can just punt it and get good field position for the defense, you can get the ball back with manageable time.
Stone calling for the ball. He gets the snap. It's a wobbly one. One step, left foot. Hits a high punt around midfield. Milling will make the fair catch at the 45. And now all the chips are on the table here, Hassan. Kings Ridge moved the ball pretty successfully down the field. The combination of Christian Smith at fullback and the quarterback and Casey Flanagan. You've got 2 timeouts if you're Pinecrest. But even with 2 timeouts, pretty much 2 first downs and a 3rd first down would put this game on ice.
And if you're Pinecrest, do you use your timeouts early, or do you stretch them out, use them later in the game?
That's a great question. Flanagan under center. Smith is the fullback. Receivers come wide on the near side. The running back in the backfield, the wing to the backfield is Milling, and Jimmy Chupp didn't like something, so he'll burn his first timeout with 4:25 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Kings Ridge seeming a little bit more comfortable in this kind of situation. No rush. Can't afford to use a timeout here. Get the personnel right.
Again, we've talked about it, how important it is for the Tigers to stay in front of the chains. We saw them a lot in the first half, had penalties on 1st and 2nd down to leave them with 3rd and long. And I think that was an excellent opportunity there to prevent that from happening. And so Jimmy Chupp took a timeout. So out of the huddle, 1st and 10 from your own 45. Pinecrest got to get off the field. They need a turnover, they need to force a punt, but they got to get that football back. 2 first downs and out of timeouts would spell bad news for the Paladins. 2-back set, Milling in tight, just outside of the left guard position. Flanagan will keep it. He'll cut it up at the 45. He's met by Stadford right at the midfield for a gain of 5.
We saw in that play on the left side of the field for Kings Ridge, DeFelice was in the slot. Brooks Binkley, who's back in the game, was in coverage, but he wasn't man-to-man to him. He was kind of sort of playing towards the center, playing towards the offensive line because he was expecting the run. They're expecting Kings Ridge to run this clock down.
2nd, 5, clock's rolling, no timeout called by the Paladins. 3:50 remaining. Probably get this snap off around 3:40. Flanagan again gives it to Smith. Smith runs into that interior defensive line. Ball comes loose, scooped up by the Paladins, and the referee's going to blow it dead right at the 50-yard line. And Hassan, as much as I wanted that ball to come out, I think that's the right call.
Yeah, definitely. Whether any part of his body was down or maybe the referee just saw that, hey, there was nowhere for him to go, so he's just going to call the play dead.
Yeah, Peter Hoover was scooping and scoring there, looking for glory, but his teammates, and again, it starts with Stafford and that interior line, stop Smith for a loss of 2. This brings up 3rd and 6, and make it 7. Inside 3 minutes remaining. Big down here for the Paladins. 2 receivers come to the left, wing T formation, motion with DeFelice. Flanagan will give it to Smith. Smith will have it across midfield, but he's going to come up way short of the 1st down. And now the clock will stop as Terrence Mathis will call a timeout with 2:44 remaining, and it looks to be a punting situation for the Tigers.
Sticking with the run and down in the middle, even though for Pinecrest, playing it safe, keeping the line and keeping the tackle boxes crammed up, get nowhere for Smith to go. Punting situation here, if this ball can get anywhere just inside maybe the 15-yard line, with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go, I think this might be big for them.
So Flanagan, the quarterback, also the punter. For the Looks like he'll mosey on back to the 40. And what appears to be a punt situation. Back deep to receive for the Paladins will be Barosas. Flanagan gets a snap, thought about it, and then lets it go with the right foot. It'll hit at the 20, take a huge Tiger roll, and this is going to go inside the 10. Rolling, rolling, rolling all the way to the 6. Flag on the play, however, all the way back at the original line of scrimmage. Everybody hold your horses here. So it'll be a legal procedure that goes against the Tigers, and this will allow the Paladins a choice to take the football inside the 10 or potentially have the Tigers repunt. And Hassan, looks like they're going to make the Tigers repunt. That's a wise choice.
Absolutely, and this is huge for Pinecrest because that definitely did take a Tiger bounce down at the 6-yard line. Hopefully for the second time around, maybe a pooch or something with a lot of hang time at least, and not punt the ball downfield so far.
So a snap good again here. Another right foot for Flanagan. This is a much better result for Pinecrest. That ball will hop out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. So a costly penalty, not just of 5 yards, but of about 25 yards when you include where that ball would have been spotted before the penalty to where it's spotted after the penalty. Pinecrest with hope here, 2:25 remaining in the fourth quarter.
It did cost them 20 seconds on the clock, but given that amount of time, 22 yards is pretty big, pretty significant gain right there. And they are within the 30-yard line.
So first and 10, 2:25 and a timeout remaining. Mangan looks back to pass, fakes the pass, throws over the middle, it's picked off by Milling. Milling got one man to beat. He'll roll to the sideline at about the 27-yard line. As Milling, playing center field out there, read that play the whole way. Mangum faked the screen to the perimeter, trying to find his man in the slot, and Milling just stepped in front of it with an easy INT.
And
now,
it was good play call by, or a good fake at least by Peter Hoover, number 20, to fake the screen. Hayden Milling did read that perfectly though.
So Milling and the Tigers trying to put this game on ice. Pinecrest with only one timeout remaining at 2:15. And you are one first down away from claiming your first Region 6A win of the season. Flanagan will keep it himself right up the middle. Pinecrest looking for that football, but Flanagan double wraps it up. And get about 4 yards. Clock running, now inside 2 minutes remaining. If you're Terrence Mathis, you probably hold on to that timeout if you see third down. Ball spotted, clock's running. You can probably, at 1:48, you can probably wait till about the 1:15 mark before you snap this ball. Flanagan being held up by the sideline. Now he jumps under center and same play again. Held up for minimal yardage, maybe a gain of 2 or 3. So this will bring up 3rd and 4. Inside 1 minute and now 15 seconds and counting.
Just trying to run that ball, try to get that first down, it seems like.
So now, ball spotted, clock starts, 30 seconds. You could probably get this one off inside 40 seconds remaining in the game. Flanagan again under center, traditional wing T set. He gets a snap, and he will hand it off to the fullback, and he'll be stopped for no gain on the play. And now an immediate timeout for Terrence Mathis. With 44 seconds remaining in this contest, Kings Ridge will have a decision to make here. This would be inside that magical 40-yard mark that we kind of deemed on Joseph Patty as his range.
Joseph Patty 0 for 1 for today. Are they going to go back to him and put trust in the kicker?
Patty's got the block out, and it looks like he wants to attempt this field goal. This would be right over the middle of the field. This would be every bit of a 39-yard field goal. Got to be this long kick, long attempt at the field goal normally has a lower trajectory and more susceptible to the block. But if it finds the sticks, this would be the ball game. Joseph Patty for the win. Kick is up. It is in the air. It is on the way, but it is well short and a little bit right. So a little bit of hope for Pinecrest here on the missed field goal. They'll take over on their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 with 39 seconds remaining, and they are out of timeouts. This is all about getting positive yardage, and should I say not just positive yardage, large chunks of yardage, and getting out of bounds or being beyond the first down, because you have to be able to stop the clock.
Absolutely.
Magnum, shotgun set, 2 receivers each side. Gets a snap, quick throw to the perimeter out here. It's going to be juggled by Hoover, looking for the sideline, can't make the play, short of the first down. So it is positive yardage. Out to the 25. It'll bring up 2nd and 5, but the clock's running at 26 seconds and counting. Paladin's running quickly. Magnum calls for the ball, gets it, looks to his left, comes back over the middle of the field, heaves it way downfield, and it'll be broken up and incomplete. Flanagan was the closest man there for the Tigers as Sullivan was running up that seam. Clock stops at 15 seconds. Brings up 3rd and 5. Hoover to the near side with Stubbs. As Magnum looks to his left, looking for Colby, can't connect there. Actually, that was intended for Sullivan on an out route. That's going to bring up 4th and 5 with 11 seconds remaining.
Seems like in this kind of scenario, if it's 4th down, yeah, with this kind of time left, you would want to keep it down the field. But do you also just try to get the first down?
Yeah.
When time stops, go up to the ball quick, snap it, spike the ball, and have one more play.
Yeah. Magnum came on the line here. Rolls the snap to him, rolls to his left, picks up his head, wants to heave things back toward the middle of the field. It's going to be through the hands of Stubbs. He would have had the first down right at midfield, and what would have been 4 seconds with the ball at midfield, a chance to throw it even further, is through the hands, an incomplete pass and a turnover on downs. And so Kings Ridge will take over with a 14-7 lead and 4 seconds remaining. Chance to take a knee. And it'll be the Tigers' first win inside region play this year.
Matt, you talk about the team learning and growing and having that discipline. We did see that discipline today. We did see the team coming out strong in the first half.
So cowbell is out for the Tiger fans, and they have something to celebrate as Kings Ridge will defeat Pinecrest Academy by a final score of 14-7. The loss will drop Pinecrest to 0-6 on the season. They're now 0-4 in region play. King Ridge improves now to 2-4 on the year, and they're now 1-3 in that Region 6A matchup. Hassan, a tough-fought game here tonight for Pinecrest. I can't say this enough. We continue to see this team improve week to week at an exponential rate. I'm not selling my stock of the Paladins anytime soon.
Oh, absolutely not. Yes, it was definitely a learning curve like Terrence Mathis wanted, and it was definitely an improvement. Like I said before, a defense giving up 42 points a game, to limiting them to 14 points, that is huge. And stats might not show it, but I think Patrick Sullivan just causing a lot of pressure towards Casey Flanagan was huge. Brooks Binkley running down the field.
Big game for him.
Running down the field and having 2 or 3 defenders tackle him. Colby Mangan Both Mengen brothers actually showing signs of poise. I think it was a great showing by the Pinecrest football players here.
Big thanks to everybody who tuned in here tonight. We'll be back in action next Friday. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here. Tough loss for Pinecrest again. I'm Matt Mahoney alongside Hassan Khan. Hassan, absolute pleasure here tonight, my man. Anytime there's a microphone next to me, you're more than welcome to it.
Yes, Matt. Had a lot of fun. This was awesome.
So again, that'll do it here from Alpharetta, Georgia, as Pinecrest Academy will host Fellowship Christian next Friday between the Pines and Cummings, Georgia. Kickoff is set for 7:30, and we'll have coverage of that Region 6A showdown beginning at 7:23 right here on SUV TV. For our entire cast and crew from Alpharetta, Georgia, our producer Marcus Burnett, my broadcast partner Hassan Khan, I'm Matt Mahoney signing off saying so long, everybody. You have been watching Pinecrest Academy Football powered by SUV TV.